Hello, 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 and welcome to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today is the 4th of March, and I am super excited to be talking about the crypto markets with you guys today and Bitcoin and all of the exciting stuff going on in crypto, kind of what I think is going to happen, what I'm doing with my money, and where I think price is going to go from here. So it should be a lot of fun. Share this link everywhere with everybody. Make sure that we've got this stream posted here in Discord and on my X account. And yeah, we'll get people tuning in and we'll just get started right away. Welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. Normally I do these live streams on Friday or Saturday, but I had quite a few people tell me that they wanted another live stream, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give the people what they want and do another live stream because hey, this is an exciting time for crypto and we need to know what's going on and kind of how to look at the markets. So let me start off by telling you a story. When I first got into crypto was 2015, but I first heard about it in 2014. So in 2014, my little brother had watched a Watch Mojo video, and it was about Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Watch Mojo on YouTube. And he's like, "Hey Dallin, come here. Come check out this coin that you can mine with your computer. And it's worth real money." And I told him, I said, "Caleb, that sounds like the biggest scam on the face of planet Earth. There's no way my computer can mine a coin that is worth real money." You know, that's what I told him. I told him to be careful because of scams on the internet, that you have to be smart about these different types of things. And after that, I basically, decided to do a little bit of research for myself about it, and I quickly found out that Bitcoin is not what I thought it was. Bitcoin is actually really cool technology, just like how the internet changed the world. Bitcoin is changing the world, right? Bitcoin is awesome. And so I started looking into it, and it aligned with my beliefs, like my beliefs of, not having the government control everything, like small government, and having the power back into the hands of the people, because I had already learned about the Federal Reserve and all of the hyperinflation and how we were off of the gold standard, and I'd learned all of those things previously. So I was like, a Bitcoin is something I believe in. Like, I believe in this technology. I believe in the idea of money being back in the hands of the people instead of being controlled by central authorities. And Bitcoin is basically mathematical money. It's just code. And nobody can own it. Nobody can control it. Nobody can be a central authority that decides that they're going to change that code for us without consensus. And so I was like, okay, this is actually really cool. This is awesome. And the reason I bring that story up is because whenever there's times in the market where things are going down and you're questioning whether you should be buying or selling, sometimes the best thing you can do is go back and ask yourself, do you believe in crypto? And if the answer is yes, why are you selling? If you fundamentally believe in crypto, and you believe that it will continue to grow because of what it represents and what it does, why are you selling? That is so powerful to remember that. And in times like this, where Bitcoin went from 109,000, which was our all-time high, we'd never been to 109,000 before. So, people would call this a non-healthy correction just because they're freaking out. But this is technically a healthy correction on Bitcoin. And what's up, everybody? Good to see you guys tuning in. Vog, what's up? Thank you for taking some time to tune into today's live stream. So, You got to ask yourself, if you are selling your Bitcoin down here, why? What what is driving you to do that behavior? What is it? Is it because of fear? Or is it because there's a good reason to? And I would say that 99% of people that are selling their crypto right now are doing it because of fear. They're doing it because they're afraid something terrible might happen. They're afraid that it could go to zero. So just ask yourself, has anything changed about crypto and the industry? No, nothing has changed. What has changed is people's emotional perspective. And it reminds me a lot of every time I've ever seen any correction in crypto. Back here last year, when Bitcoin went from 70,000 down to 50K right here, everybody sold. And I was basically attacked for being bullish. Just like how I was like verbally, literally in my comments, people were attacking me for being bearish up here, saying the market was going to go down. And no, I didn't play this perfectly. I started buying a little bit too early down here. But I was one of the only people that was actually bearish, that I know of at least, at that point. And then I was bullish down here, and a lot of people, again, were mad at me. And the reason that happens is because 90% of investors are trading completely based on emotion. And so at the point where they should be selling, they're buying. And the point where they should be buying, they're selling. And so when you go against the crowd, you're going to have a lot of people that are like, wow, you are so dumb. You know, they're not going to understand why you're doing what you do. But you just do it anyways, because who cares what they think, right? This isn't about what other people think. This is about whether you're making money in the markets. That's the most important thing. So with Bitcoin here, a lot of people are doing the same thing that they did right here, you know. And you can even go back. You can go like this, and you can look at the market. Let's go back just a little bit further here. Like maybe right to, oh, let's go like this. No. Or yes, I mean, and we'll go like this to like right here. Okay, there we go. Now, when that happened, look at how scary that looked. You know, I remember everybody was calling for 30K. In fact, like everybody on Twitter, everybody on YouTube, most everybody was calling for 30K right here per Bitcoin. But instead of flipping bearish, what did we do in the Discord, in the VIP, and even publicly on my channel and all my free videos and all the stuff that I posted during that time? We bought because of a cup and handle pattern. We didn't listen to people's fear. There was FUD. Every emotional reason to sell was there, but every technical reason to buy was there. So there was a divergence between the psychology of the crowd and the analysis in the charts. And if you can find that divergence, then you can profit off of it. That's why Warren Buffett says, be greedy when other people are fearful, and fearful when other people are greedy. He says that because it's a human psychology statement. You know, or W.D. Gann said, if you want to be a good investor, do opposite of the crowd. I'm paraphrasing, but all of these really good traders and investors, they were talking about buying when other people were fearful, because human psychology is the most important factor to understand. So I was very bullish, and in the Discord, the VIP, on my channel, in our community, we were all focused on buying, except for, of course, the people that didn't want to listen to me and were mad at me for being bullish down there. And look what happened to the market, right? You can watch what happened in the chart here. It didn't take very long for this thing to just turn around and break out to a new all-time high and go all the way up to 100,000 per coin. we played it perfectly down here. Now, we didn't play this part right here perfectly. I bought a little early before this part. But once that final crash happened, I put as much as I could in. And, you know, I want to talk a little bit today about basically how easy it is to get down on yourself if you do have losses. Never be discouraged, okay? I have personally been trading since 2015, and I made a lot of money in 2017, like a ton at a very, very young age, and I did not know how to manage it. I didn't understand markets fully, and when the crash came around, guess what? I watched my portfolio drop like 99% at 21 years old or 22 years old, you know, and seeing all of this wealth just vanish into thin air. But I'm here to tell you that most of the best traders and investors in the world have had those types of experiences. And even in 2021, again, I had been buying all through 2020 down here, right here, going all in, making videos, doing everything I could to get crypto into the markets, and I got rich again in 2021. And guess what? I did not plan for expanded flat correction, and seriously had big, massive losses from the top up here at 68K down to 16K per Bitcoin. So I can tell you I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. But I can also tell you that if you continue to follow the charts and you buy when other people are fearful, because one thing I've done very, very good at is not flipping bearish on bottoms, like right here in 2018, or right here in 2020 during COVID, or down here in 2022, I wasn't flipping bearish. I was keeping my bullish thesis because I believe in crypto. And no, I have not called every top. I've called a few of them. And no, I haven't played this market perfectly, and I've had big losses and everything too. But I've also learned a lot, and I've also made a lot of money in these markets. So don't be discouraged. Understand that some of the best traders and investors in the world have completely wiped out their portfolios, sometimes 2 times, you know. I've heard stories of professional investors that have wiped out their portfolios 3 times before they figured it out. Most commonly, if you're taking like some type of course or you're trying to learn from somebody that knows what they're doing, you usually don't have to go through that. You know, that's why I tell people pay for education. It doesn't even have to be my education. Just get knowledge, because if you get knowledge, you're not going to have to make the same mistakes that those people have made that have done those things. You can kind of sidestep that by learning from them that went through that. But it's okay. Just never be discouraged. And definitely do not give up. Never, ever give up. So yeah, just continue to accumulate this market. I'm here to tell you guys, crypto is not going anywhere. Crypto is here to stay. Now, whether you're going to ride the bull market up to a new all-time high, that's your choice. But crypto is here to stay. And I can tell you that with confidence. Super duper, what's up, my friend? That's okay. Well, thank you for being very open about your enjoyments there, super duper. Send us to the promised land, Matt Osty. You know, if you want to go to the promised land, that's kind of something you have to send yourself to. I can only tell you how to do that and get there. But if you want to experience the promised land, you gotta yourself go there, man. I can't change you for you. Rico Hawk, good day, Dallin. Would love to see how Theta is holding up. You know, Theta is one of my favorite coins. And if I was to tell you one of the best coins to buy for this cycle, I would tell you Theta. If you're looking for a good coin to buy, if you're looking for something that's going to give you a big percentage gain, I would tell you Theta. This coin is awesome. This coin is going to go nuts. All right. So I've looked at the big picture a lot on this channel for Theta, and I've also looked at the short term a lot. So I honestly probably not going to get too crazy into it, but my thesis and my analysis has not changed. We have an ABC correction down here, down to major support. And then as you can see, if we pull our Fibonacci tool and go from the bottom to the very top, you can see we went all the way down to that lowest 88% retracement, which is extremely common for the altcoins to go down there to that lowest Fibonacci retracement, whereas Bitcoin has a tendency to stop on the 786 level on macro cycles. So Theta's doing what's common for altcoin macro cycle. And if we pull up Ethereum over here on the right, good old ETH, I can show you what it looks like when an altcoin does a macro cycle. So here is Ethereum over here on the right. And if you look here and we go from the bottom to the top with Ethereum here, you can see Ethereum also fell down to the 88% and even slightly below, just like how Theta did. And so it's very common for the macro cycle of these altcoins to do an ABC correction like this, and just like that, to do an ABC correction down and to come down to that lowest Fibonacci level, the 88% level. So because of that, I do expect Theta to do the same thing that Ethereum did. The way crypto works, if you guys study markets, which again, I'm telling you, education. If you're serious about making money in these markets, if you're serious about making a substantial profit in crypto, you need to have knowledge. You can't do this ignorantly. You can't do this shooting in the dark and guessing. You need knowledge. And one of the things with these altcoins is they do go all the way back down to those lowest Fibonacci levels. But the other thing that they do is it seems like they're dead for a really long time, then they pump all at once. I mean, look at Ethereum here. If you look at Ethereum down here, it seemed like it was dead for years. 2018 started a bear market, massive correction, all the way back down to support. Then it's going sideways, it's all boring, chopping up all the people trying to trade short time frames. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it pumps all at once, and really quickly. That's what's coming for crypto. I firmly believe that with all of my heart. That crypto is getting ready. We're set up for another big picture cycle, another expansion up to a new all-time high for crypto. And when that expansion occurs, it's going to be really fast. But it's going to seem dead before it happens. You look at Ethereum down there, it's going to seem dead. It's not going to seem like it's going to happen. If it seemed like it was going to happen, everybody would get rich trading crypto. There's a reason 90% of people that are trading and investing lose money. Why do you think 90% lose money? They don't end up on top. They don't have people around them that are making, they don't have, let's see, how do I want to word this? They don't let people around them influence them. They don't let the crowds influence them. They are the 90% of people that my bad, you guys, I got that mixed up. The 90% of people do listen to the crowds. They are the crowd. It's the 10% of people that make money in the markets that don't listen to the crowd. So if you're feeling like you're losing money in crypto, it's probably because you're following the crowd. And it's never going to be profitable for you to do that. It's never going to make you money to follow the crowd. If you want to make money, you have to do opposite of what everybody's doing. And what everybody's doing right now, they are fearful. The 90% of people are freaking out. They don't know what's going to happen. They're fearful. And they don't believe that this is possible. They don't think it's possible for crypto to go to a new all-time high. But the people that are getting rich, the people that are making money in crypto, those are the people that are buying down here when it doesn't seem possible, when it seems dead, when it seems a little bit ridiculous, when you have to have a lot of faith and a little bit of insanity to do it. And when you do that, then all of a sudden you buy down here before those big expansions occur in the market, and you are part of that 10% of people that makes money in crypto. But you can't follow the crowd. It's never going to work to follow the crowd. Again, the crowd is the people that are wrong. It's just that simple. You know, my trading view is being a little crazy right now. I don't know why. Not sure why that's happening. What's up, everybody? 128 viewers so far. 65 current viewers. Thank you guys for taking some time to tune in today. Bought some more Litecoin. Nice. That's actually really good to hear. I've been telling people like every day, Dogecoin, Litecoin, like the same things I'm telling people. When people ask me what coins should I buy, I'm telling them the same thing over and over again. You know, it's the same like 3 or 4 or 5 coins. Wow. Am I even connected to the internet right now? Is this stream even still going? My trading view isn't working. I guess we'll go to ChatGPT and see if that's going to work instead. Litecoin, now you're talking my language. Follow the crowd, been losing since I started buying. Well, hey man, just keep buying, all right? As long as you don't panic sell down there, you're going to be all right. Let's pull up charts.cointrader and see if this works. Sometimes, I don't know if TradingView is glitching out on me. Interesting. I wonder if I'm connected to the internet right now. It says my stream is still going, so I don't know what exactly is happening. I hope you guys are still able to hear and see. I've never ever had this happen before. Normally my internet works really, really good. Interesting. Yeah, that's so crazy that my I can't see TradingView right now. Oh man, that's hilarious. 1 second though, I'm gonna grab a couple books, okay? So there's a couple books that you guys should get if you're serious about trading. If you're really serious about trading and investing. One of the books that you should get is called Applying Elliott Wave Theory Profitability. So here's a really good book for you to get. I love this book. A lot of really good stuff in here. The other book is Technical Analysis of Financial Markets. So I don't know why TradingView isn't loading. We'll try it again real quick here. See if it loads. Oh, there we go. Cool. But yeah, those are 2 good books to buy. So we've got our charts again so we can get back into analysis. But when I first started learning this stuff, I did everything I possibly could. You know, reading, watching videos. So just gain as much knowledge as you possibly can and start applying that knowledge. You're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way, just like how I did. But you're going to learn a lot and you're going to make a lot of money too. Especially since the timing of the opportunity in the market right now is really good. And so if you take advantage of that timing of the market, then you're going to come out on top, you know. Okay, let's pull up a Litecoin chart that isn't Binance here. But the worst thing you could do, you guys, right now in times like this is to start getting afraid. Just hold true to your analysis. Let's see here. Litecoin dollar. Here we go. So here's Litecoin. Okay, here's Litecoin on the 15-day candlesticks. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't remember who brought it up in the chat, but we'll do a little Litecoin analysis for you guys. Legend League loaded up on Litecoin. Nice, man. That is good. So, okay. So what happens to markets? Markets are a lot like a soda can. If you take a soda can, right, and you shake up that soda can for like maybe 5 minutes or something, and then you open the lid, what's going to happen? It's going to all come flying out at once. Why? Because there's pressure built up, right? That's exactly what happens to the crypto markets. That's what an accumulation pattern is. When this market's moving like this, think of a soda can being shaken up. It's building pressure. You can, Bitfinex isn't a good example of this because it has really low volume, because nobody uses Bitfinex, this exchange. But I decided to use the Litecoin Bitfinex chart because it also has the most historical data. But if you want to look at volume for Litecoin, go somewhere other than Bitfinex because you're not going to see the volume here. It's going to be really low because nobody uses Bitfinex. But you can see volume if you go across all of the different exchanges. You can see constant, steady, and consistent volume. So imagine for like 8 years of time, that soda can is being shaken up. Then when the bull market starts, what happens is a lot like what happened here in 2017. Okay, here's another example of an accumulation pattern. Market's going down like this, chopping around, shaking up like a soda can. Then what happens when the lid gets opened? Boom. Massive explosion. Massive vertical move, right? Just insane. That's what an accumulation pattern is. This is why most people, another reason why most people lose money in markets is because they don't have patience. They don't understand that that soda can has to be shaken up for a really long time, and then all of a sudden, all at once, it just explodes. And if you want to see a really, really good example of this with Litecoin, we'll pull up Litecoin on the top, and we'll pull up NVIDIA on the bottom, and I'll show you exactly what I mean here. Looking at NVIDIA here on the bottom, we'll go like that, zoom out. This is what I mean, you guys. NVIDIA, think of it being shaken up like a soda can, okay? By the way, stocks even take longer than crypto does to take off. So you're talking about from the year 2000 until 2016. So this is literally a 16-year. This represents 16 years worth of that soda can being shaken up. You imagine how many people gave up on NVIDIA during that period of time. Imagine how many people thought, this thing is not going to do anything. This isn't going to go anywhere. It's just done for. It's just bouncing around and going sideways forever. But look what happened to NVIDIA once NVIDIA actually broke out and that soda can lid opens and you can see all of the pressure get released. It just completely skyrocketed. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys about crypto. What we have right now with crypto is almost identical to what happened with computer companies and with internet companies. Anything associated with early computing or early internet. This is what happened. We broke out into a massive bull market because it had been building pressure for a really long time, and when it got ready to break out, it just exploded. And you can see, look what happened to those internet companies. NVIDIA being a graphics card company, associated with computing and graphics. So a new industry a new technology being accumulated by big players, by big institutions for 16 years, and then it takes off. Now, crypto is on a faster time scale, because the way markets work is the time scale is going to be different for different markets. Stocks, really slow. They're slow moving. Crypto is a fast moving market. Crypto moves very quickly. So, what's happening here with NVIDIA, to me, is exactly like what's happened with Litecoin. It's the same thing. You know, that same accumulation and preparation for a big breakout. So that's my honest opinion on Litecoin, okay? Don't let the time that it takes for the market to accumulate to scare you. And by the way, at that very last point, when everybody else is giving up on the market, when it seems like it's gone sideways for forever, is the exact point when the opportunity is the highest. Like right here on NVIDIA, this thing, people would have been so bored of NVIDIA by year 16 here. Can you imagine holding this thing for 16 years? Can you imagine the type of patience that takes to do that? You basically just have to set it and forget it. But most people are trying to get rich quickly. Most people are trying to get rich fast. So they have that mentality of, I want to get rich as quickly as I possibly can. And because they have that mindset when they come into this, it's super easy for them to screw up because they are unwilling to hold through the times where they need a little bit of faith and a little bit of patience. And Litecoin, we're talking about almost a 10-year accumulation. Today, we're on 2025, and this accumulation pattern really started back here in 2017. This fractal of the NVIDIA fractal started back here in 2017. So you're talking about almost 10 years, like 8 years of accumulation here for Litecoin. So no, it's not 16 year. The stock market seems to have about double, seems to be about take twice as long for the stock market to do a cycle than for a crypto cycle. But you can see that it's the same thing. 16 years of accumulation for NVIDIA and 8 years of accumulation for Litecoin. What do I think is about to happen? I think the whales are about to open that soda can. It's already started with Bitcoin a little bit. And I think they're about to do it with Litecoin too. And this thing is going to go nuts. And I don't care what anybody says about what the project does or its fundamentals or whether Bitcoin is better than it or whether XRP is better than it. Who cares, you guys? The charts don't lie. And big institutions have been accumulating this thing like crazy. And they're not going to lose money. They're going to do what they did with NVIDIA here, which is after they accumulated it for 16 years, it went to the moon. And they made a lot of money. And big institutions aren't dumb, and they don't put billions of dollars into stuff for no reason. Okay, cool. Looks like we might be getting a market reversal now. I actually completely agree. I think we are reversing down here. I think people are perma-bearish, which is a fancy term for people basically being overly bearish and overly fearful, just like they were last year in August, right here. People were perma-bearish here. And right now, I think they're doing the same thing all over again. And you can see with Bitcoin that all we did was an expanded flat correction. Very typical ABC correction here for Bitcoin. Very typical, right onto the 50% Fibonacci level. If you go from the peak low to the peak high, that's the 50% Fibonacci level. So for me, I think Bitcoin can easily turn around here. Easily. And the worst case scenario would be a previous all-time high retest of 73K right here. Like if Bitcoin was to go for a worst case scenario, I'd say, okay, maybe we could test 73K, and then turn around right here. But that's like the worst case scenario. It wouldn't surprise me one bit to see Bitcoin turn around on the 50% fib level. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Cool. Did Trump just tweet something? I have no idea. Oh my goodness. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm on X, I use X, but I don't really look at other people's posts so much on there. A little bit. Just because I don't believe in getting distracted, I believe in trying to reduce distractions, because focus isn't your ability to focus, but your ability to reduce distractions. That's what true focus is. So if you want to be really focused in life, that's why I love those plugins for your internet browser that make it so you can't see Facebook posts. But if you want to go make a post to provide value to your community, or, share a thoughtful insight about life, which I do a lot. I post different things on my Facebook, philosophical ideas and stuff. That's really cool. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Basically, you guys just don't get distracted, okay? And that's why I don't use X very often to see other people's posts. But I do post stuff for myself, yeah. Okay, let's see here. I've got a lot of time. I will hold Litecoin for 10 years minimum. Yeah, so that would be the other thing I'd be careful about, you guys, is don't hold crypto for forever. Definitely be willing to take a portion of your profits off the table, because if you do take a portion of your profits off the table, then you're able to lock in those gains, because crypto does have cycles. So if you're planning on holding crypto for 10 years, definitely don't be afraid to scale out as crypto pumps. Don't be afraid, even if you're going to hold 25% or 30%, don't be afraid to scale out, okay? Perfect attitude. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Haven't heard you speak of Verasity. I'm curious if it's one that you think, okay, yeah, VRA. We can do a little VRA here for you. VRA. So yeah, this is another good example of the market cycle here. I mean, look how brutally oversold this is. This thing is so dead looking. But look at the volume. Billions, 43 billion in volume, 21 billion in volume. Right here, 29 billion in trading volume. So there's significant volume down here, right? A lot of volume down here for VRA. So the question you have to ask yourself, is this thing really dead, or is it not? Is this thing really dead, or is it not? And if you look at BitShares, Poloniex, and we come back here, and we do a little bit of analysis here, the market can look very, 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 very dead. I mean, look how low in 2017 here, BitShares went all the way up to the top here and all the way back down to the very bottom again. So that's a very common thing for these markets to do. It's common for crypto to see 99% retracements or 95%, especially on altcoins, to new all-time lows. And that's where people really, really get bearish. That's where people really give up. But this area right here, where BitShares was basically completely dead, looking is a lot like VRA right now in terms of human psychology. It looks dead. There's even more volume on VRA here than there was on BitShares back in 2017. There's more, way more. So this is way, way, way better of a buy down here than buying BitShares down here, right? So what I think could happen here based on this is we could have a big, like I said, crypto looks dead and then it pumps all at once. We could easily have a breakout here on VRA up to a new all-time high. And it can happen really quickly, and I'm not saying it's going to stay up there forever, because crypto, just the nature of crypto is highly volatile. So I'm not saying it's going to stay up there forever, but it wouldn't surprise me to see a very similar kind of move here that I've seen previously, because I was here for 2017 when this happened. I made my first big fortune in 2017 through this whole bull market right here. So I know what it looks like. I know what when people are fearful, when people don't think the market's going to turn around, but there's volume, the market cycle's in a perfect spot, it's oversold, and every condition that's bullish is there, except the fact that it looks dead to beginners, and people are bearish because 90% of people lose money in the market. 90% do. So just knowing that gives you a lot of knowledge for this type of a move in the market, where you go, you know what? I am not going to be bearish down here because of the knowledge that I have about market cycles, about human psychology, and the fact that that maximum contracted point of the cycle is the point of maximum financial opportunity. Just knowing that gives you so much power over what most people are doing. You know, most people are not, they aren't bullish down there. Market cycle cheat sheet. Here we go. Here we are. In the market cycle chart, that point of maximum financial opportunity right here, everybody is bearish right there. Oh, Reddit won't let me zoom in. That's weird. Let's pull up right here. Image and new chart. There we go. Or tab. Here we are. Yeah, so you can see the simplified market cycle chart. Most everybody is bearish at the bottom of those cycles. At the point of maximum financial opportunity is where most people are bearish, because 90% of the market loses money. And that's just the truth. That's statistically true. Not because they can't make money if they want to, but because they don't understand the psychology of a market cycle. And one of the most powerful things that you can do is buy the bottom of these market cycles, where everybody's bearish, where it looks like it's going to new lows, but the financial opportunity is extremely high. Extremely high. And that's how I feel about VRA. And yeah, I do like this coin. One of my friends even knows the developers of this coin. So I do think it will pump. And I think it will pump really hard and really vertical. But I'm not saying it's going to stay up there, because I've been here for the bull markets, I've also been here for the bear markets. And I know what it's like when something drops 99% and then goes down and sideways for like another 5 years or 8 years. And if you don't take profit up there, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to wish you had taken profit. And that's why I tell people, scale out. You don't know exactly where the top is going to be, but you know once these things are super undervalued, the whales are going to buy them up like crazy. And then once they're super overvalued, the whales are going to take profits like crazy. And right now the whales and the market makers are buying crypto like crazy. And once it turns around in the other direction and pumps really hard, they're going to be taking profit like crazy. And that's why I tell people, scale out. You know, don't try to call the top, but definitely take profit on your stuff. So, wow, we've had over 231 viewers already on the stream today. So thank you guys so much for everybody that's tuning in. It's amazing how this cycle just repeats, and human psychology or human emotion is the same every time. It's actually become more an identifier to me now. When I feel this fear and panic, I view it as a positive thing. Yeah, Justin, you are on the path to becoming a successful trader and investor. If you can program yourself to think opposite of the crowd, I like to say you're tuning into the frequency of the whales. So where those big players, those big whales are, the way that they're thinking and the psychology they have is complete polar opposite to the 90% of people that are losing money. So if you can train yourself to think like they are, it's almost like turning a radio dial to where you're on the same frequency as them. And if you can get to the same frequency as them and start seeing the market in the same way, you're going to make the same decisions as they are. And the best way to do that is to see that feeling of panic as a good thing. Because at the start, you start the feeling of panic and the feeling of, oh no, what if the markets go lower, causes most people to sell. That causes most people to sell where the whales are buying. And that's why everybody feels that fear. It's because they haven't overcome that biological response. And the only way to overcome that is to get basically just to practice the market cycle, or to have somebody tell you that knows, and teach you. But if you don't practice feeling those emotions, it's really hard not to feel them. Another good way to overcome this is to not have 100% of your portfolio in the markets, which right now I can't really say, because other than what I have for my savings in my checking account, I'm super heavily into crypto right now. So I can't say that without I'm not necessarily taking my own advice on that right now, but the opportunity is really good for buying. So I'm basically all in on crypto right now. But yeah, basically you want to make sure that you have 15% cash, especially if the market's pumping. You can take some profits until you have 15% cash. And then when the dips come around, instead of being fearful, you get excited because you can buy. The worst feeling is not having any money to buy the dip. Especially if you've learned enough about trading to know that it's good to buy the dip, and you know that you're in a dip, and then you're like, oh, well, you don't have capital. But, that's why you just buy as much as you can when you can in the dip, and when it's pumping, you take some profits, and then you can have more money to buy the dips with later when they come, because they always come. What makes them valuable, though? Are you talking about cryptos? What makes crypto valuable? Crypto is based on math. So just like how, the way crypto works is really, really cool. It works on one-directional math. So you can generate a certain string of letters and numbers, and this is the same technology that allows your iPhone to have a password or your computer to have a password. It's called encryption. And that one-directional math is how encryption was created. And it's actually how we won World War II. If you study World War II, one of the main reasons that we won World War II was because we had better encryption. So we were able to communicate over radio with more encryption. And we weren't intercepted. And so if you study it, quite a few people, experts will agree that one of the main reasons that we actually won World War II is because we had better encryption. So crypto is based on that same technology. The reason nobody's hacked the Bitcoin network is because it would take an astronomical amount of computing power to do it. So Bitcoin and crypto solves the double spend problem, which was the reason we didn't have a digital currency up until now, was because anything that's digital can just be copied and pasted, and there's no end to the amount of times that it can be cloned. And with crypto and one-directional math, we were able to solve the double spend problem. So that's one aspect of crypto that makes it valuable. It solves the double spend problem and makes it possible for digital currencies. Another reason crypto is valuable is because of the fact that it's super, super secure. Nobody has ever been able to hack the Bitcoin network, ever. Why? Because again, it takes an astronomical amount of computing power. It's like to hack an iPhone is actually really hard. Why do you think the FBI tried to go to Apple 5 or 8 years ago or whatever to get their master key? Because it's one directional math. Even the FBI was like, we can't get into this iPhone. It takes a massive amount of computing power to decrypt an encrypted line of code. Or it's not really code, it's more just it is code, but it's one directional math. And in order to try to go the other direction in that one directional math, it takes an astronomical amount of computing power to do that. So that's one of the reasons crypto is valuable. But the other thing is remittances. So remittances are one of the biggest use cases for crypto currently, aside from all of the cool stuff that we see in gaming and all of the digital cash where people are using it as a payment method. One of the big current reasons that crypto is a thing is because people that have family in other countries, if they try to send money to their family using the banking system, they're going to pay 30% fee. And by the time their family gets that money, it's going to be 70% left is all. And so what crypto allows people to do is send money directly to their family, and instead of having to deal with these massive banking fees, it creates real world value because they're able to send money to their family for maybe 1% is what it's going to cost them. So the cost of transactions is lower. So this allows for micropayments. And micropayments were an impossibility in the traditional banking system because it costs too much power to process micropayments in a traditional banking system, like fractions of a penny. But crypto allows for micropayments. So if you're playing a game on your phone and that game rewards you, it could reward you like 1/10 of a penny, and because of crypto and how low the fees can be, it's actually possible to do micropayments where a traditional banking system that was impossible. Some other things, it's not centralized, so it can't be controlled or manipulated by central authorities. It's not controlled basically. So, and it's for the people by the people. Crypto really is for the people. It's bringing money back into the hands of the people. And that's why I believe in it so much. So I didn't mean to get on a whole tangent about why crypto is actually valuable and how it really solves problems, but those are some of the main reasons that it does. Dallin, do you think we have just made a wave 1/2 on Bitcoin? That is an awesome question. We can do a wave count on Bitcoin here for you. Let's pull up old BTC and we'll go over to... So I guess I'd ask you, what wave count are you starting from? What are you kind of looking at? For me, the Bitcoin Elliott wave count, if we zoom in on the macro count, or the micro count, not the macro, on the 6 hour, the Elliott wave count is really simple here. You can see wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Then we have an expanded flat correction. So we have wave A, wave B, and wave C. The reason I know this is an expanded flat is because these are all ABC subwaves. ABC down, ABC up, ABC down. So it's an expanded flat correction. So on the 6 hour, we have a completed market cycle here, a completed Elliott wave cycle, which basically means we're going to have a new cycle start, right? A new wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Because whenever you complete an ABC correction, you're looking for a new Elliott wave sequence to start. So here on the 6 hour, in the immediate cycle, this is super easy to count, right? But what you're probably asking me, or what I'm assuming that you're asking me, is what's happening here on the bigger cycle. What kind of an Elliott wave count do we see here on the bigger cycle? And to be frankly honest with you, on the bigger cycle, we need to go over to the BLX chart, or maybe Coinbase will even work easier, to be honest with you. Coinbase will be a good, or BTC, then we'll look for Coinbase. In the macro cycle, like the biggest Elliott wave count, we're in wave 5. So we have on the macro here, we can count wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. It can go slightly below wave 1 in a wick, and that is what that is. And now we're getting ready for an extended 5th wave. So that's why I say Bitcoin is going to go to 250K per coin in an extended 5th wave. That's my personal target for Bitcoin, is 250,000. I've been talking about this since, well, actually I was talking about 100K per Bitcoin since 2017. We already hit that. But when 2021 came around, I was doing my Fibonacci extensions and looking at the market and thought, you know what? This has to be setting up for 250K based on the Elliott wave count. And so that's what we're seeing here. We're getting ready for what's called an extended 5th wave. Extended 5th wave, Elliott wave. And if we just pull this up right here, and we'll add this onto the chart. So we're getting ready for that extended 5th wave. It's going to be bigger than the first two. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, then extended 5th, right? Then that happens in commodity markets, but also happens in crypto. So it happens in silver, gold, crypto, and even equity markets sometimes do extended 5th waves as well. But that's why I think Bitcoin is headed up to 250K. Will it stay up there? Absolutely not, because an extended 5th wave leads to an extended correction. So I believe it will have a very brutal correction after that. As far as the micro or the medium count, because we did the micro and the macro, so the medium wave count, it looks something like this for me. So let's pull up Elliott waves here. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Then we get our correction here. So we have wave A, B, and C. And now we're starting our next Elliott wave here. So this would be wave 1 and wave 2. To answer your question, yes. In the medium cycle, this would be wave 1 and wave 2. Getting ready for, again, 3, 4, and 5, which should take us up towards 250,000 per coin. So that kind of breaks down Bitcoin on all of the different Elliott waves. It shows you how I think Bitcoin will go to 250K in the big picture, and kind of how I think Bitcoin in the shorter time frame just finished, or in the medium time frame just finished wave 1 and wave 2. And then the smallest time frame, we just finished a full Elliott wave cycle, which is why we're starting a new one, right? So that's kind of what I'm expecting for Bitcoin based on Elliott wave principle. Justin Landtrip, the most recent wave is the wave 1 from 50 to 100. So yeah, that's wave 1, wave 2. Crypto is known for the extended 5th. Yeah, it is known for extended 5th waves. So just be aware of that. A lot of people don't know about the extended 5th wave, and it really wrecks people because they get taking profits too early, or they try to short the market. Like, a lot of people are going to get wrecked because they're trying to short the market right now. And if you short the market right here on Bitcoin, oh man, you are in for a surprise if that thing's going to 250K. You are going to get completely wrecked trying to short too early. Now, if you start shorting Bitcoin toward 250K up here, honestly, you're pretty smart. Like, Bitcoin is not going to be able to sustain that type of an extended 5th wave. The 5th wave could go higher. You'd want to scale into the position, because technically that 5th wave could go even a little bit higher. You don't know exactly where the top is going to be. But so if you're shorting, you'd want to scale into your short sell. If you're taking profits, you'd want to scale out into your pump here and take profits along the way up, right? So that's kind of the way I view Bitcoin on the bigger picture here. My man, thanks for the live stream. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Bounce Back Stronger. I saw someone requested it on Twitter. Yeah, I actually was requested by a few people to do this live stream, which is partially why I decided to do it, because give the people what they want, right? Serve the people. If they have demand for something, one of the first rules in business is to meet that demand. And if you meet that demand, then you're serving people, and if you serve people, you're going to be financially compensated for it. And if you're financially compensated for it, that's a good thing, you know? It's good to make profit. It's good to be industrious. So, no reason to short until we have a clear breakdown from the highs and a possible lower high. You know, I definitely would be very, 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 very careful shorting crypto right now, especially since we've just had a big crash. A lot of people are going to be emotionally bearish right now. A lot of coins are very, very undervalued in the big picture. So shorting crypto, even if it was to drop just a little bit lower, like say Bitcoin tested 73K, I could see, you know, if you're trying to go for something like that, maybe, I don't know, it could bottom out now. But definitely be very careful trying to call the top on crypto. You guys don't, if you are trying to do that, imagine what happens when a dam breaks and somebody tries to swim upstream. Because that's literally what's happening with crypto. A dam broke, and we are going to go overvalued here. I believe we will. And when we do, people are going to be making a lot of dumb choices, and they're going to try to sell too early or short right here when there's a dam breaking and water is flooding out at a rate that's unparalleled in history. And, you know, if you try to go against that, you're kind of really putting yourself at odds. JP Morgan hate BTC. You know, that's true, actually. A lot of big players. But it's interesting that he says that, because he said that in 2017. And then physical evidence got released on Twitter. And it was proof that JP Morgan's trading desk had been buying Bitcoin. Like, physical proof. So, like, you just, you know, people say one thing and do another. And I'm not saying JP Morgan's trying to be dishonest or anything like that. I don't know the guy, never met him, so I can't speak as far as that goes. He might not even have had a say in it. Maybe his trading desk just did it, right? But definitely be very careful. Just, oh, Warren Buffett said that about Bitcoin, or, oh, JP Morgan said that about Bitcoin. I trust Warren Buffett's advice for a lot of different things. Like, be greedy when other people are fearful. That's amazing advice. And it works really well for crypto, you know. But I'm not going to agree with everybody on every point. And those guys, Warren Buffett doesn't even invest in stuff he doesn't understand. It took him so long before they were finally able to convince him to invest in Apple, because he felt like he understood it. And then he invested in Apple computers, and now he holds it. But one of his rules is not to invest in stuff he doesn't understand. So there are old guys out there that know a lot about certain things, but might not have an understanding of new things, and that's okay. You don't have to listen to them. You know, you can do your own thing, and that's okay. And you can take their advice on a lot of stuff, and if you disagree with them on a different thing, that's okay. So, yeah, there are people out there that don't like Bitcoin. But, you know, also Steve Wozniak loves Bitcoin, the co-founder of Apple Computers, and Warren Buffett's heavily invested in Apple Computers, you know, so there's obviously people that see value in crypto that are very, very, very influential. Why do you think there's so much talk about it these days by even celebrities, or even our president is talking about Bitcoin all the time, you know? So yeah. Anyways. Okay, definitely don't be shorting now. Yeah, Justin, I agree, man. I agree 100%. Dallin, what is happening with AXS? It's probably getting burnt right now a little bit. Let's look in the big picture here. Okay, this this is a crypto cycle if I've ever seen one. Like, look at that pure human emotion. This is what I mean by human psychology. All right? This is pure human emotion. Massive pump, 90, probably like a 95% correction from the peak. And by the way, you guys, we're already an hour and 5 minutes in, so I can't go crazy long. This is going to be the last coin for the day. 97%. Let me double check to make sure that's right. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate. We had a big turnout today, so thank you guys. 98% down from its peak. Like, what? That is crazy. 98% down from the peak. Okay? Now, that's what I mean by pure human emotion. Look how much it went from the start. 43,000% gain. If you would have put that, you guys realize that's 430x, I think. Let's double check on that. I'm pretty sure that's... I'm pretty sure that's 430%. Or 430... well, you just remove 2 zeros, don't you? Yeah, you remove 2 zeros. So yeah, 43,000% is 430. That's what I meant to say. 430x your money. So if you put $100 into that, you know, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. You can make crazy profits with crypto. 430x your money just off that single pump. Which, yeah, $100 or $1,000 times 430, you're talking about $430,000, right? $100, you're talking about $43,000. Just buying when people are fearful, when nobody cares about it. Like in 2020 when everybody was scared because of COVID and nobody was buying crypto. If you would have bought AXS in 2020 and put $1,000 into it and taken your profits up here, you could have had $430,000. Right? But you have to have the willingness to buy when people are fearful, like right now with AXS. People are fearful right now with this coin. They are afraid to buy it. I imagine there's so much FUD out there. There's probably so much people, I don't read the news and stuff on purpose because of this, but there's probably so many articles out there about AXS and how it's just going to dump and like go to zero and how it's like the worst thing ever and never to put your money into it. And you just can't listen to that stuff, you know? Look at Solana here. Solana is it's a very similar fractal as ASX here. Or AXS. I keep calling it ASX. I'm sorry, you guys. There's so many cryptos to remember, so give me a little slack there. But look at this, you guys. Like, look at this massive pump on AXS and this massive pump on Solana. Then this massive retrace. Imagine how many people would have just sold right here. Just, oh, I can't handle this anymore, and sold their crypto. That's where AXS is right now. It's that same point of the cycle where people are very fearful, very afraid that it's going to go lower, and their human emotion is getting the best of them. And like I said, markets move because of human emotion. That's the psychology of a market cycle. It's human emotion that moves these markets. And if you look right here, look what happened to Solana. Full recovery. Complete full recovery. So don't be shocked if AXS turns around here and starts to recover. Don't be surprised. It won't surprise me at all. this is what happens when people get overly fearful. The big whales take advantage of it and they buy insane amounts of crypto at dirt cheap prices, and then it recovers. And they make a lot of money for it. And you can too, you know. It's really, really cool that you can do that. I keep getting text messages. But yeah, you guys. Let's see here. Hi, what are your thoughts on ICP? You guys, I'm an hour and 10 minutes in. Save your analysis for next week. Understand I'm bullish on most of the market, including, you know, stocks too. So for the guy that's asking me about Microsoft or ICP, is a crypto, but Microsoft is a stock. Yeah, I'm bullish on stocks too. Don't panic sell your stocks. There's like a 90% correlation to stocks and crypto. And they're all heavily, heavily connected. So yeah, definitely don't sell your Microsoft. I mean, I wouldn't personally. Andre Zoe, good time to accumulate Litecoin. I agree, Andre. It is a very good time to accumulate Litecoin. And yes, I am bullish on ICP, Hunk 115. And that's a cool username too, by the way. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Good things are coming. All right, really good things are coming. I'm gonna play one song for you on the guitar and call it a day. And yeah, this one isn't gonna be a sing song today. Normally I sing a song for you and play, like Here Comes the Moon, my crypto edition of Here Comes the Sun. But today I'm just gonna play one of the very first songs I ever learned on the guitar. So when I first started learning guitar, when I wanted to learn guitar, when I got inspired to learn guitar, I saw this guy on YouTube, and he was blind. And he could play this song, like, perfectly. And it was called Malaguena. And I thought, you know what? I'm 11 years old, is when I started playing. I was like, I might be young, I might not know everything, but if a blind guy can learn how to play the guitar, I can too. So then I started practicing every day. My mom couldn't get me off of the guitar. You know, she's like, I was just on it all the time. And this song was one of the first songs that I learned. It was a simplified version. Now I know a little bit more of a complex version, so I'm going to play a little bit more complex. But this was one of the first songs I ever learned on the guitar. It's called Malaguena. So here we go. you go. Andale, as they'd say. Yeah, that one's really hard. The second, the second part of that song has some really, really, really fast picking patterns. Not gonna lie, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I did mess up on the second part a couple times. But I love that song. It's so fun to play, and it is beautiful. And I'm here to tell you guys, if a blind guy can learn how to play the guitar, then so can you. And it doesn't matter how old you are, or how young you are, or whatever. So, oh man. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you guys in future videos and live streams. Make sure that you make your requests in the comments down below for future coins that you want me to cover for either the next live stream or in my videos. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay profitable out there.